Well, I'll put it this way. I was searching for some relief in my muscles. I'd not been into fitness for a long time, and I thought it was time that I started to get stronger but get rid of the pain first, because as you age, as you get older, pain creeps into your life, and you really got to try and manage it. Don't take medication or anything like that. Just, accept it and face up to it. As the pain is there, I need somebody to remove it.
Mm-hmm.
And lo and behold, Sam came into my life.
I started massaging you about, I think we're well over the year now, and really quickly became a friend, didn't you?
Mm-hmm.
And I think we had to. What the great thing about Joan is that you don't realise is that you're of an age. We won't do the age thing because I do it every time I see you. But you're of an age, and you've been through muscular trauma as well as joint trauma with hip replacements and things like that. So when I first met Joan, you don't see those things. So when I first started treating her, I was a bit forgetful about the level of pressure that Joan could take based on her age, because she is quite strong and a bit of a force to be reckoned with, a bit like me in lots of ways. And I realised quite quickly that actually Joan had been on quite an amazing journey, really, and something that I connected with quite quickly. So it didn't just become massaging every week, it became getting to know each other. Having been through a few wild journeys myself, I found this instant connection to some of the things you were talking about. And then, of course, I asked for a copy of the book, because that's what I then wanted, because I was in search of something as well. So I think we were just both in search and happened to fall upon each other at the right time, whether that's divine timing or
the book
God
I
gifts
wrote.
or not.
Yeah, the book I wrote was Knowledge is Power, and you took those words to heart, and she wanted a copy, so I gave her one, and it's continued from there, isn't it? You do quote quite a lot of things that I've said in the book, things that I've forgotten really, but
Yeah.
Sam reminds me of them.
Yeah, I think the book for me resonated at a point I had just. I think we're both at very different stages in our life, but what resonated for me as I was reading the book is that knowledge is power, but you can't have it unless you understand what that means. And to each person, it's going to mean something different, so you can't necessarily teach it. And I think that's the nice thing about your book. It's not a self-help book, but it is, because it gives you an understanding and connection with yourself. So for me, I had just given up a very powerful job. I was a single mum at the time. I was raising 2 kids, and I'd decided to retrain and set up my own business. And my head felt manic. We had the conversation at one point. My head felt really manic. Had I made the right decision? Did I need to get a nanny back in? I was all over the place. And Joan brought me a copy of the book, and I, like any book, I read and take what I want from that book. And for you, there just seemed so many chapters, you reconnecting to myself. Why was I feeling manic? Well, I was feeling manic because I was in self-doubt about all the decisions I was making. But that's all right to feel that. So then the book gave me acceptance in my feelings and an understanding that, yeah, I'm going to doubt. I'm raising 2 wee people that depend on me. So if I've not got those doubts, I'm never going to be aware of anything. Yeah. So as we started massaging, I took loads of strength for you. We use this word a lot, don't we, when we're massaging and chatting, and because sometimes Joan forgets how powerful she is as a woman, just as an individual. It's wrong to say woman, but certainly this strength. And when we talk about things you've gone through, I almost have this awe of wonder, because I think, yeah, I'll get there. It's just that sense of, do you know what, actually, I'll get there. So where Joan thinks I help her in her muscles, she doesn't realise I actually take a lot for her.
Our conversations have moved on from the book, Knowledge is Power, onto a project that I've been working on for quite a while. And and that's helping people to become conscious and living their lives consciously, knowing who they're bringing into their life and what they're bringing into their life by, if they're thinking unconsciously, they need to be thinking consciously to realise. And I think the time that we met was kind of a realisation from both our parts that we were somehow meant to be together.
Yeah.
We were meant to have these conversations, or we were meant to have the massage to get rid of the physical pain, but also mentally it's helped us both to be stronger and have belief in ourselves and together and each other.
Yeah.
And that's how we go through life now, isn't it? Yeah. Every Wednesday, love it.
And I think the great thing about Joan is watching Joan go through her journey and understanding that, certainly for me, there is ups and downs in her journey, and she's faced with negativity, and each week she comes back and I see her and there's this beautiful positivity about, I've took that next step, here's what I'm doing. And there's never although she's written a book and she's very prominent in what she's saying and confident in that, and you use it, don't you? She does accept that sometimes she goes down a wrong path, or sometimes she slips into, I'll go here for a quick fix, and then she quickly realises and goes, and I think that even though she's written this book and she's consciously aware, it's nice to know that sometimes she gets it wrong, because then it's again that affirmation that, yeah, actually sometimes I will get it wrong. It doesn't mean I need to live in the wrong, I just need to quickly get back on path.
I joined a course, a foundation degree course at Salford University, where I studied aromatherapy and reflexology. And lo and behold, I was a mature student, of course, at the age of 62. And I was worried about the academic side, because I'd not obviously studied for many, many years. But I had to study. And surprise, surprise, to me more than anybody, was that academically I was fine. I was good. You know, all the assignments I wrote, the essays I wrote, all the research I put in, ended up to be marked at 70-80%. So I was good at the thing that I thought I would fail at. So, and it was the physical weakness that I couldn't carry on. So I think that was meant to be, that I came out of the course, unfortunately, and I started to write my book.
And I think that's...
So knowledge is power came out of weakness.
And I think that's what's lovely. Like, Joan sometimes looks to me for affirmation, which is it's bizarre. I mean, in a short sentence there, she explains, like, she was a physical instructor in the army. In what year? We had this conversation the other day. It was like 1969. You were in the army?
That's right, yeah.
So in 1969, Joan was a personal trainer in the army. So a female personal trainer in the army, and then she looks to me for affirmation of strength, and I just think, you probably were doing the hardest job as a female in the 60s, early 70s that anyone could possibly do. Training men to go out to actually go to war, which is what they were doing at that time. They were preparing for major wars, and in a time that women were undervalued. And yet she comes to me and goes, can I have a wee bit of strength? And I'm like, I'm pinching yours every week, mate. I'm hoping you'll reread your book to me on the sly, because it's there. And I think that's the lovely thing about you. You know that you've written it, it's there, and it's in paper, and it's legible, and it's not back to back, this will change your life. It's, here's my journey, here's where I've done, this is my conscious co-creator, join it if you want. It's not a forceful, this will save your life and you will be better. It's, here's where I've been, save yourself for that.
You do have strength within you, it's just a matter of finding it. And the knowledge is power, of course, talks about the inner strength, and that's where your real power lays. If you want to read the book, that you'll get a better explanation than that. And also realisation that you can change things in your life if you're not in the right situation.
That's what you said to me. You gave me the strength to leave the situation I was in. I had made major changes in my life to change who I was as a person, the job I was doing, everything like that was focused around money and finding money, and I found that I never actually had it. And then I was paying into a clinic that was really, really struggling me. It was causing me major pain. And you said to me, you've got to do what makes you happy, and when you stop searching for these things and see that they're there, things will come round. Yeah. So I decided to leave the clinic that was my main state of income and go to home. And since that conversation, we talk about it many times, I haven't searched for money. I've never worried about the bills being paid. I've never thought about, I've got an hour spare, what will I do with those clients? All those things that I was blocking, if you will, by being sat in the clinic worried about them, I've never had to worry about because I let them go. And that, you talk about that in the book. You talk about blocking positive energy coming through. So I think when I find myself getting into that state again, because you do, I go back to the book and I look at I'd be lying if I said I knew the chapters, because I don't, but I go back to the book and I find the pages that reference me at the point. And of course there's that blocking of energies and stopping things from coming in because you're searching elsewhere, so it can't get to you because you're not allowing it to come to you. And I have to say, since we had that big chat, I haven't ever. I've said to you, I've moved into a lovely new house. Yeah. I've got a beautiful partner. I've got 2 very contented wee girls. My financial, I'm not a millionaire, but I'm certainly comfortable, and I don't have to worry about my job, my clients, my home, because it almost just takes care of itself because I've let it go. And when I do feel, because I do read your book, I do quote it back to you. Yeah. When I do feel, I'm getting in that state again, if you're not about, or we've not had a chat that relates to me, then I do go back and read and I think, right, okay, let's stop, let's think about it, where are my emotions at, and just centre myself almost. It's a book that you can go back to and you can just pick up a chapter, or you can listen to Joan's journey and you can almost hear Joan talking to her once you've met her a couple of times about her journey, and understanding that yes, she's felt the pain and she's felt the trauma, and she wrote a book at a point in her life where most people are digging their gardens and thinking that's it. Well, that's when her journey's re-begun. So I think for me that's the nice thing about the book. It's a journey of self-discovery continually, regardless of age, race, creed, whatever. It's just an opening to understanding you.
That was the biggest intention. In fact, I really wanted to call it a manual, a handbook, but I thought, no, you can't do that. You don't do that. But that's what it is, really. So, and I think I even mentioned in the book that you can go back to it time and time again, just to remind yourself of, wait a moment, this is, what I should be doing. This is the way I should be thinking.
And I'm sure in one of the chapters you actually encourage us to take notes. Write down the words that jump out at you, make you feel better.
There are pages there where you,
I find myself often sometimes, I'm weird though, so I'll write things in my wallet that I want and then stick it in there, because it's in the book about writing the affirmations and allowing someone to bring you them. So I do it. You might not do that. You might read the book and find something else. For me, those are the little things that I've took about it. Call it a security blanket, call it whatever you want. It's my journey, and I've accepted that. It's my faith in what I've read. So those are the kind of wee things that I've took from it. I think anyone, if you read the book with an open mind, I genuinely believe the book will connect to someone somewhere if you're honest with yourself, because it's about the conscious co-creator, and that the conscious co-creator is you. It sounds like something really out there. It's not, it's you, and it's that connection with you. And what Joan's managed to do in book, certainly what I've took for what Joan's managed to do in book, is say that she rediscovered this journey late in life. She's almost given you the tools to say, actually, it's here. Don't wait as long as I did. Don't take it to there. Don't be that person in your retirement trying to find your belief, your power, your strength, your wisdom. Do it now. And even if you take one page for the book and you find inner strength as a person, I think you'll get that. If you're searching for wisdom or something that's a bit more eclectic, I think, again, reading the book, you'll find that. So to say, if you mean like, is there a bracket, then honestly no, I would say if you're willing to be open to who you are as a person, the book will have an advantage.
I found out recently whilst I've been going to the hairdressers and having my nails done and the gym, that it is younger people, and that they're 18-year-olds, 19, 20. And I did have in mind teenagers, and then I thought, oh, perhaps they won't want to know. But I thought, no, they need to know. They need to know that there's other alternatives, there's another way of thinking out there, you know. And that's what I want. I want people, all ages, to help all ages to begin creating their own life consciously, instead of leaving it to the unconscious mind, just to keep surviving from one day to the next.
And we spoke about that, didn't we, about how at the minute we feel as if kids are almost, they're put in a box from 9 till 3, and then they're told to get a job, they're told to study, they're told to do that. But actually, what if they're genuinely meant to be an artist sitting out in the street graffitiing on the road? That they might genuinely want to be sat in a garden digging up flowers. So I think what Joan was saying, we had this conversation about my girls and how I'm now more aware and in tune with their emotions. Erin woke up the other morning in floods of tears, and I was getting ready to snap at her because I was rushing, and obviously I've learned now to take that time. And so I was like, well, I'm rushing, she's not, she's just got up, let's find out what's wrong. And she's overtired, she does a lot of sport, she's very engaged, and actually she was just tired and fed up. So just by giving her in 5 minutes, it changed the full mood of everyone in the house and in the day. And I got that for the book about, what are you angry at? You're angry because you're rushing. Why are you rushing? You're rushing to fulfil something. Does it really need to be fulfilled? The fulfillment's going to be in sorting Erin out in that 1 minute, and understanding her emotional needs and everyone else's emotional needs by taking away what you're rushing to achieve.